Kong Skull Island is the latest attempt, this time by director Jordan Vogt-Roberts, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, to reinvigorate the King Kong franchise, to kind of start again, so to speak, and bring it to a new generation. Now, it all kicks off when John Goodman's character, this scientist, convinces the people who are higher up to let him go on an expedition to this newly discovered island, an island he has found. Of course, we know straight away, because we've probably seen the trailers and we know this is a King Kong movie, that that island is going to be populated by all manner of beasties, which eventually are going to get scrapping. Now, I've got to say that the trailers for this film really got me excited for it. I'm a big fan of Peter Jackson's King Kong. I know some people aren't too big on that one. They much prefer the 1933 original, but I loved it. I really liked it, even more so than the original. But yeah, does this one live up to that? Personally, for me, no, it doesn't. Like I say, the trailers got me excited, but I feel like those trailers presented the better film than what we get here, I guess. That being said, it is still a very entertaining film, particularly in the action stakes. The action is shot really nicely, I think. I think the film overall has a really brilliant look to it. It's got that kind of Apocalypse Now vibe from a visual standpoint. My only problem is that they didn't go further with that and kind of stick to that Apocalypse Now vibe throughout the characters and the story. Now, I think they wanted to go in that direction, given that we have this military group who obviously fought in the Korean War, in Vietnam, so that there is that there as well. But then we have this character played by John C. Reilly, who I personally would have liked to have seen as more of a Kurtz kind of character in Apocalypse Now. I think they should have wholeheartedly gone for that Apocalypse Now vibe and made him a Kurtz figure, in which he's very dark, very serious, very brooding character, and someone who you don't know if you can trust. Unfortunately, they don't go that way, and instead they go kind of like a humorous route. Only the problem is that humour doesn't really work for me. Now, there's many attempts in this film, not just through his character, but with other characters as well. Like, you have different characters that kind of buddy up. Two in particular, two of the Marines kind of, I think, are meant to be funny. They're meant to be there for comic relief, but it feels so forced. It doesn't feel natural, the dialogue between them. And the dialogue throughout this film, actually, at times, is really, really heavy-handed. And it feels like maybe the script could have done with a few more touch-ups before going into production. I think there are far too many characters to be dealing with here. I think a lot of the minor characters we just really don't need. And I think also some actors are just plainly wasted. Now, Toby Kebbell, this guy, I don't know when Hollywood and just people in general are going to wake up to what a talent this guy is. If you've ever seen Dead Man's Shoes, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But he's a fantastic actor. And once again, as with many other films I've seen him in, he's wasted here. Samuel L. Jackson gets to chew up the scenery, and he kind of has, I think, the best drawn out character. He has the one with a very definite character arc. I think John C. Reilly's does as well, but again, because they play a lot of it for laughs, it doesn't really make that much of a dent for me personally. Whereas Jackson's character, I see it. I see what they're going with for him. You know, he's fought this war that he can't win, and now he sees one that perhaps maybe he can, or he's struggling very much to. So yeah, it's you'll either love it or hate it, but for me personally, I think it's one of the strongest characters in the film. I think Brie Larson is very good as a performer, and as is Tom Hiddleston. They both work well on screen as a pair, but I think they're a little bit underwritten, as I say, with most of the characters here, because they're just spread too thin. Despite these deficiencies in the script department, I do still think this is a highly entertaining film. You know, it's always good to see monsters, especially famous ones like Kong, kind of tearing the screen up and having smackdowns with other big monsters. I wouldn't expect to get more than that from this film. I personally think Godzilla was a better film, and I'm looking forward to seeing the matchup between Godzilla and Kong after this. But yeah, I felt like Godzilla had a little bit more to say, a bit more social commentary, where here it's literally just yeah, you're here for the smackdowns and that's it really. Which, you know, fair play if that's what you're here for. I'm sure you'll get much enjoyment out of this. Like I say, I enjoyed it. I'm a fan of Kong. I just would have liked a little bit more depth to the screenplay. But yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5. What about you? Have you seen it? And if so, what did you think about it? Comment below, let me know. And until next time, crack in.